Ladies and gents, welcome back. This is going to be part 2 to What If Naruto Was the Reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths. This is due to you guys voting on my poll and saying that you wanted this instead of What If Naruto Had the Good Half of the Nine Tails. So, where we left off in the last part, Naruto thoroughly dicked down Kakashi and pretty much defeated him during the bell test and took the bells. He also revealed during this that he was a perfect Jinchuriki, having pretty much already befriended the Nine Tails due to the Nine Tails pretty much knowing that he is the reincarnation of his, father figure. I don't know what Kurama would think of Hagoromo, but I'm not sure what the relationship would actually be considered, but let's not cover that right now. Well, we can talk about that later. So, let's get right back into the what if. So, they pretty much just got assigned to do the C-rank mission to guide a bridge builder named Tazuna back to his homeland to build a bridge, and they obviously are very excited by this, and they are ecstatic to do so. So, that's where we're gonna jump right back into it. So, they start on their walk to where the bridge is, and Kakashi notices this puddle. And Naruto notices this puddle as well and is just thinking, he doesn't necessarily immediately come to the conclusion that this is some kind of different, he doesn't think immediately that this has to be some other, person there. He just thinks that, that's kind of weird. It's the middle of the dry season and there's a puddle. It hasn't rained in weeks. And Naruto continues walking and continues thinking about this, how that shouldn't be a thing. And Naruto's kind of curious about this, but he knows he probably shouldn't ask Kakashi in case there actually is somebody around trying to see if they know that they're there or not. So Naruto keeps to himself, just a little bit more on guard now. And Kakashi notices this, obviously, because again, he's very observant, and he notices that Naruto's a little bit more on edge, and he comes to the conclusion that it might be because of the puddle. And he's kind of impressed by this, but he's just maybe Naruto is just, maybe he's sensing something else. Maybe he didn't actually notice the puddle, but he thinks that maybe, just maybe, Naruto did something so observant that Kakashi barely noticed this. And this is where the two Chunin brothers attack. And when the Chunin brothers attack, they don't even get to the point where they can fakingly kill Kakashi before Naruto is standing in front of them. Similar to what Sasuke did, he one-shots both of them, and pretty much leaves them on the ground unconscious, and pretty much tells Kakashi that he can deal with them from now on, because he doesn't really want to. So Kakashi pretty much just summons some of his dogs, and he sends them back to the village for questioning or whatever other purposes the village would want with them. And now he turns to Tazuna and is pretty much just so, this C-rank mission shouldn't really be having these legendary Chunin brothers attacking us now, should it? And Tazuna puts down his head and is yeah, you may be right. I can't afford to buy a higher ranking mission. I just can't afford it. Our village needs help. And we couldn't afford to buy a higher rank mission, so we had to do what we could do. But I need to get back there. I need to finish building this bridge. It's for the sake of our lands. And Kakashi's just fine, just this once we will help you, but from now on, you don't try to scam ninjas out of their money. Because again, that's the entire reason that, or not the entire reason, but doing missions is kind of that only economic opportunity, at least at this point in the ninja villages, is yeah, you were paying us to kill other people for you, pretty much, so it's you need to pay. So Kakashi's fine, just this once I'll allow it, and they continue on. And now, when they do continue on, there's a mist that rolls over. And immediately, Kakashi notices with his Sharingan that there's actually chakra flowing through this mist. And Kakashi's the only one that notices this, because nobody else has an awakened dojutsu just yet. But Naruto senses the amount of bloodlust in this mist, and he's I've never even sensed this amount of bloodlust before. And Kurama notices this as well, and he's pretty much just be careful, kid. This one's gonna be pretty strong. And Naruto just kind of nods. He's like, yeah, you may be right. And Naruto gets the intuition to look behind him, and he sees a giant sword flying towards him. He screams for everybody to duck before Kakashi even can, and everybody does so. Kakashi mutters to himself that he noticed it before me, just thinking that maybe this kid actually is stronger than him, just like he told Hiruzen. So now they continue going on. Or not going on, but they continue through this mist, trying to get pretty much to the edge of it, but they quickly realize that they're not going to, and Kakashi pretty much tells everybody, once Zabuza jumps on top of the sword, don't move or you're dead. And everybody takes this to heart, and they pretty much just, they stand completely still. Except for Kakashi, who decides that he's gonna go against his word because he actually wants to fight who he thinks may be Zabuza, the Kage hunter, assassin, man, guy thing. So he pretty much begins the battle by moving. And Zabuza jumps down now, and pretty much confirming who Kakashi thought it was. And Kakashi now starts battling him. But Kakashi's kind of on the back foots of this battle, not really being able to keep up with him without his Sharingan out. But he doesn't really want to take out his Sharingan yet because of the stamina drainage it actually has. And now Kakashi is, again, on the back foot, and eventually he would get trapped inside of a water prison. And when he does get trapped inside of a water prison, Sasuke tries to jump into battle, but Naruto stops him and says, you're not going to be able to do it yourself. Either get my help or tell me to go do it myself. And Sasuke, kind of like a Vegeta moment right here, just screams at him. He's just like, what do you mean I can't do anything? I can't do this myself. I will do it myself if I want to. And he now runs forward, completely losing any sense that maybe Naruto was actually right about what he was saying. And he charges forward now, he uses a fire-style fireball jutsu, but again, this does nothing to Zabuza, and Zabuza kind of just deflects it with his sword. Yes, he deflects a fireball. And Naruto now just says, see, told ya, as he runs forward, realizing that Kakashi again is running out of oxygen inside of this water prison. Now Naruto runs at Zabuza, and thinks that, he should be able to do this very easily on his own. And he lunges forward towards Zabuza now, and Zabuza is pretty much just thinking to himself, another kid. Except this one's even probably weaker than the other one. He's not even using jutsu, it's just taijutsu. And he swings his sword at Naruto now. Naruto, not even really thinking about this, doesn't even look at the sword. He swings his arm up, catching the sword with one hand. He simply grabs the sword and then swings it to the side, deflecting it from pretty much hitting him. And Zabuza is now thinking, like, not only did this kid not get cut in the slightest, he just effortlessly deflected the sword with his bare hands. And Naruto now slams his fist straight into Zabuza's face, sending him flying backwards, and even getting, like, completely submerged underwater. And Kakashi obviously gets released from his water prison and thanks Naruto for pretty much helping him. And then he pretty much just says, okay, I'm gonna end this quick. And Naruto is just like, what do you mean you're gonna end it? You weren't doing that well earlier. And now Kakashi lifts up his headband and reveals his Sharingan for the first time to the people around. And Naruto already knew this, but because Kurama told him that there's some chakra getting swarmed under Kakashi's eye. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's some type of dojutsu, most likely a Sharingan by the amount of chakra being flown to it. And now Naruto's just like, oh, so that's what it was. Kurama was right, and Kakashi's like, yeah, okay. And now Zabuza pretty much gets out of the water, putting his hand on it and lifting himself up, now pretty much regaining his composure after this little kid managed to take him down. And Kakashi does the exact same thing with his Sharingan, predicting his movements, using his jutsu, even seemingly thinking before Zabuza can. And Zabuza, just like in the original, gets completely taken aback by this. He doesn't know how the heck he's doing this. Like, he's heard of the Sharingan, and he's heard that that Kakashi is the copy ninja, but, like, he just thought it meant copying jutsus, not copying everything, copying body language, copying he's seemingly talking before Kakashi can. And this is obviously because he's insanely flustered right now, just due to getting completely wrecked by a Genin. But he doesn't really think of this, and he's still very angry, and still makes it easier for Kakashi to pretty much, not necessarily putting him under a genjutsu, but to confuse him and frustrate him and make him mad, make him an easier target for him to pretty much target. Now, Kakashi runs forward, and he pretty much easily is about to kill Zabuza, but now Haku jumps in and seemingly kills him. And Haku then takes the body of Zabuza, slinging it over his shoulder, and he just pretty much says, "I'll take care of it from here." And Kakashi's just like, okay. He doesn't have a pulse or anything, so okay. And Naruto is pretty much just like, Kakashi. You know he's alive, right? Kakashi now looks towards Naruto and he's just like, what do you mean he's alive? And Naruto's just like, all that Haku did was hide his pulse. He's alive. He is like, he's fine. Zabuza is still breathing. Haku is probably just he's probably one of his subordinates or something like that. And Kakashi now is like, kid, come on. And now Haku pretty much runs away at this point because he can't really do anything because he knows that with two of them being stronger than Zabuza, and he knows that he himself is just about Zabuza said that Haku was above him, but he's not above him. Naruto would not be able to take on Kakashi without even like a tail of his Kyuubi chakra. He would not be able to do it. Like, let's be honest here. So Haku knows he would not be able to take on these two, yet alone the other three of them that are there. I don't think you'd really count Tazuna in that, so the other, or Sakura, to be honest. Well, let's count Sasuke, because Sasuke's at least kind of powerful. So Haku runs away, and they don't bother chasing him, knowing that if they're probably just going to show up at the bridge again, because again, they are trying to kill Tazuna. So they show up at Tazuna's house, and Tazuna thanks them for pretty much protecting him. And now Kakashi is trying to teach everybody tree walking, but Naruto already knows this jutsu, so he goes and meditates, talking to Kurama for a while. And Kurama gives him a little bit of a tip. He pretty much mentions the jutsu that his father once used. And Naruto now walks up to Kakashi and asking about the Flying Raijin jutsu. And Kakashi explains to Naruto that the Flying Raijin is a jutsu really only known to the 4th Hokage and 2nd Hokage, but he then wonders, how does Naruto even know of this, and he asks him. Naruto explains that Kurama told him it's the jutsu his father, the 4th Hokage, used. And again, Kakashi is taken aback by this. He's just like, you're not supposed to know these things, Naruto. And Naruto's like, yeah, I know, the village is trying to hide it from me, but they're not that good at it. I mean, I have Kurama sealed inside of me, and I pretty much talk to him all the time. And Kakashi is just like, oh my god, this kid, what? How is this kid even this strong in the first place? So now Naruto just kind of smiles, and he's just like, I don't know. And he pretty much goes back to meditating, thinking about, or he's like pretty much talking to Kurama about the Flying Raijin and how it was actually used by placing seals and teleporting to these seals. And Naruto decides that he's going to ask Hiruzen about it later on, because apparently Hiruzen knows every jutsu known to the Leaf Village. And maybe he would know the Flying Raijin if he knows everything. So, again, like, I don't think Hiruzen has the jutsu, but he would at least be able to point Naruto towards the 4th Hokage's guard, because they know it. So it's like, because Hiruzen says he knows every jutsu, but he like doesn't use any of them, or he doesn't use that specific jutsu, and you think he would, since of how like overpowered it is. So now they go to the bridge a few weeks later, and Kakashi has completely recovered from his Sharingan usage. And Naruto pretty much tells Kakashi that he's going to give Kakashi some of Kurama's chakra, and it should help him with being able to use the Sharingan to a better extent. And Kakashi is obviously very hesitant at first to allow this to happen because, again, he still doesn't fully trust Kurama, even though Naruto seems to. And he finally decides to agree because what's the worst that could happen? He could slightly lose control, or Kurama could, like, yeah, actually, that's quite bad. But he's like, whatever. He decides to let this happen. And what happened actually really surprises him. Naruto pretty much just implants some of Kurama's chakra into the Sharingan and, like, eye itself. And this seemingly pretty much takes care of the entire chakra drain and all the pretty much negative effects of the Sharingan. And now he can just kind of freely use it without really having any repercussions. And Kakashi now thinks to himself, what if he tried using that ability again? Because Kakashi has the Mangekyo, we don't know if we don't necessarily know if he knows he has the ability, but he awakened it when Rin died. So we don't necessarily know if he can or not, but I'm just going to say that for now, Kakashi knows that he at least has it, but he still isn't going to use it unless it's, like, absolutely necessary. So now Naruto pretty much continues on going, and they arrive at the bridge eventually. And obviously, when they arrive at the bridge, this is their pretty much second encounter with Zabuza and Haku. And Sasuke, after not really getting to fight the first time, wants to go challenge Haku, because again, he's the weaker one. And Zabuza starts fighting with Kakashi. And Naruto decides that if one of them needs help, he'll join, but for now he's just gonna stay and help guard the bridge builder in case something decides they want to try to kill him. And Naruto gets a little bit of intuition here. And Naruto makes a shadow clone and sends it back to the actual, like, bridge builder's house just in case, because he feels that something bad may happen. And he will be glad he did this once the shadow clone dispels itself and Naruto realizes exactly what happened, and he's like, how did I just get that intuition that something bad was about to happen? And Kurama doesn't even know this himself. He's just like, I don't know. You're pretty smart, I guess. And Naruto now is like, okay, whatever. And now he notices that Sasuke is trapped inside of the ice prison. And he is not exactly faring all too well against this Haku. And Naruto decides he's going to join him. So Naruto goes inside of the ice mirrors and is pretty much just like, sup. And now Sasuke's like, you idiot, why didn't you stay outside? We could have done I can't even talk right now. We could have done, I legit just can't say this word. We could have done attacks from the inside and outside at the same time. It was a fancy word for it, but I don't know how to say it anymore, apparently. I had written it down, and I just don't know how to, that doesn't make sense. I know the word, I just can't pronunciate it. So now, Naruto jumps in the middle, and he's just like, yeah, well, there's no point. I'm probably strong enough to take him on by myself either way. And Sasuke gets mad by this, and they continue on. But Naruto's not really doing all that much other than defending Sasuke, because he wants to have Sasuke be able to react. And Naruto is distracted for the briefest of moments, and he turns around. And this is where Haku sees his chance. And he throws a bunch of his needles towards Naruto. And Naruto doesn't have enough time to react to this. And that's where Sasuke jumps in the front of this and is pretty much falling down to his knees. And Naruto is looking at this and he's like, why? Why did you do this? And Sasuke looks up and he's like, I don't know. My body just, it seemed to move on its own. Naruto is enraged by this. But instead of activating his Kyuubi chakra, he activates a 3-tomo Sharingan. And he looks over at Haku now, and Naruto, with a simple punch, completely shatters a mirror. And he is completely thrashing Haku now. They are outside of the mirrors now, after Naruto smashed each and every single one of them, and Naruto is slowly walking up towards Haku. And he's now looking down on him, feeling just a slightest amount of pity in this moment, Naruto stops before his hand reaches Haku's head. This attack alone would have been able to kill Haku, but Naruto hesitated for the briefest of moments. And this is where Haku disappears from Naruto's vision and appears in front of Zabuza. And Zabuza looks down, thinking that he was just pierced in the chest by a Chidori, but he wasn't. He looks down and sees Haku standing in front of him, blood with Kakashi's hand straight through his chest. Haku now falls to the ground, and Zabuza's like, "You're such a good freaking..." Oh my god, he's just so happy that he had such a good subordinate that he did this for him. And Naruto is now just like, do you not just realize that Haku mean that you meant everything to Haku? You meant everything to him. And Naruto now gets pissed once again. This time actually releasing some of the Kyuubi chakra. But it's not necessarily like him releasing Kurama releasing the chakra to loosen the seal. It's Kurama releasing some chakra because Kurama got pissed as well. And Kurama now is getting pissed, and he released some of his chakra into Naruto. And Naruto, with his 3 Tomo Sharingan activated, and a mix between his Kyuubi chakra, he charges towards Zabuza now. And he slams his fist straight into Zabuza's gut, almost piercing straight through it, and blood starts seeping out. And Zabuza now is just thinking, he's like, what? This kid is even stronger than Kakashi. And Naruto now is about to deal the finishing blow to Zabuza. And this is where the gang leader walks in clapping. And he's just like, haha, you did a good job of distracting them for this long. And now he walks up with all of his little tiny, like, pretty much all the fodder people that wouldn't be able to do anything to these ninja. And Naruto now turns around and he realizes exactly what happens instantly. That this ninja world isn't exactly what he thought it was. And that this ninja world isn't just some, like, where he knew this wasn't just like a carefree, you kind of just go around doing stuff. This is a kill or be killed world, where ninjas are pretty much just mercenaries. They're assassins. That's all they really are at this point. And Naruto is now thinking about this. And he's like, it's because of people like this. And now he looks at the gang leader. And then he looks back at Zabuza. And Zabuza, he can tell that Zabuza is getting more and more angry just seeing the gang leader in front of him. And he now points to the kunai that Naruto is carrying. And Naruto, after a brief moment of hesitation, hands it to him, knowing that this wasn't going to be him or Zabuza trying to deal the finishing blow to them, but he was going to go around and kill everybody else. Zabuza still has some contact with his hands right now, so he goes around, and he completely decimates each and every one of the ninja. Or not ninja, of the... I don't even know what to call them. The pretty much weaklings that came with the gang leader. And now Zabuza stands in front of the gang leader himself, and he kills him. And now Zabuza lies on the ground next to Haku, just like he does in the original, thinking that, yeah, Haku was a really good guy, and he did truly care about him. And now they both died laying next to each other, as snow began to fall. Now, Naruto gained a lot of change in this just brief moment, because he learned so many different things, and this really changed his perspective on a few things, of what a ninja was, and all these different things were flowing in Naruto's mind as his entire personality was starting to, or not personality, but his entire understanding was starting to change. His dreams were like, not necessarily being crushed, but more, what was it going to take for him to accomplish this dream? And Naruto realizes this, and he pretty much contemplates this all the way back walking to the village. And when he does eventually get back to the village, he comes to the understanding that this is going to make his journey of becoming a true ninja and eventually Hokage much more difficult. So, that's where I'm going to leave this part off. So, I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace out. Bye.